Fernando and I were the first ATG coaches over 10 years ago. I think his story is just as impressive as mine. He can do the splits, he can dunk, he can squat 400 plus pounds. Most importantly, the 10 plus years, he's been less injured than I have, and I've had barely any injuries. Any injuries could happen. But he's figured out a formula for himself, a way of training that he doesn't have to worry about the typical chronic pains. He can have mobility. He can play sports with his friends. We're coming off 2 hours outside at the beach playing basketball, dunking on concrete, and now he's going to teach you his barbell training. So our goal is everything we know to share it with you. You're watching this maybe on my channel right now. Well, every video he does will now be on his channel, and every video I do at HQ or he does or Cortland does that we just did on the court teaching dump technique. Everything we do at ATG will be on the ATG exercise channel. Now Fernando's gonna be mic'd up. It's him and you having this conversation. You're in the gym with us right now. Just keep it. We're live from HQ.
Yeah. Thanks, Ben. So this is a live workout. I'm gonna be showing you the 3 primary barbell exercises we use at ATG. You can find this program under Ben's where they do it all in one day and then you work on accessories. On my program, on the structural balance program, you can find where you do it split up and you train a little harder, a little heavier. So the goal from all these regressions that you may have watched and learned by following us at ATG is all these regressions to end up getting to barbell work. The reason you want to get to barbell work eventually, if you get to that point, is to be even stronger, right? There's always a progression to the next level. Don't stall or be satisfied with just like, okay, well, I'm just out of knee pain. Well, okay, let's build more muscle. Let's get stronger. Let's jump even higher, okay? So I'm gonna take you through my squat workout, which is the day 1 on my structural balance program, and then I'm gonna be coaching a couple of guys on the RDL and overhead press as well. So first part is the warm up. So we're gonna go ahead and start. So as you can see here, actually real quick, I have more of a long-term hip tightness and weaknesses. So I spend time doing hip warm-ups, okay? Again, another hip warm-up and back extensions, and then we're gonna get into the sets. Now, for you may have weaker knees or something else in your body, and you may want to adjust this warm-up for your body. There's no one single perfect warm-up. Anyways, let's take you through this one. So we're gonna go over to the squat rack here. Actually, Zay's using it, so I'll just do it. No, we're good. I'm gonna do my hip warm up here. So the first thing I like to do is something called a hip shift, okay? So there's 2 ways to do this. You can simply get into a squat position. You can use a pull or assistance if you need. But from here, all I'm doing is going to be warming up the hip, okay? So I'm stretching inside here. I'm activating my glute on the outside. So I'm actually actively pressing my knee out to warm up here, okay? And when I do that, by shifting, I'm also stretching and warming up the muscle in here. I prefer these type of warm-ups over static stretching because I'm actually activating the muscle, okay? I'm not just letting body weight, gravity do the stretching for me. Okay, so I'll shift back and forth. And already here, I'm feeling it a little more here, pushing out. And I'll just go back and forth, okay? I'm already a bit warm because we've been playing 2 hours of basketball before. So I won't do too much time here. But anyways, back and forth until you feel that. And then I like to just get straight into sumo squats, okay? If you were really cold, you might want to start progressing with some dumbbell holding here to really get that warmed up. Stretching, pushing the knees out, activating the glutes, okay? So that's the first one I do. Next one I do is called CAR rotations, okay? Stands for long fancy words. The point is it's going to be the outer glute warm up. So the way you do this, I'm going to do it so you can see me here, is you pick up your knee, okay? So this is going to warm up the hip flexor, and then you want to open. And the key to this is you try to minimize your torso rotation. So here, and then you lift the foot out, and then you kick back, squeezing the glute, okay? And then you reverse this. Very controlled, the whole movement, okay? And repeat. You can do this a couple times, 5 times, 10 times, whatever you need to feel those muscles activated, okay? Other side, other angle, right here. Squeeze out, rotate, and squeeze the glute. When you do this, you'll probably notice one leg is quite different than the other, which is why I love this warm-up, because it'll help fix imbalances in your hip joint down there, okay? Hold on to a pole to minimize rotation. Good. Those two. Now I'm gonna do some back extensions. Come over here. What's your name?
Austin.
Austin?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so Austin earlier was doing some flossing and split squats. So tell us about your warm-up for squats.
Yeah, so I had a pretty compromising injury with my knee, so I got to take a little more time on the warm-up process just to get the blood flowing, get that synovial fluid nice and juicy. Takes a little bit longer, but it helps my workout overall. So, you know, you got to do what you got to do.
Exactly, and so he spends time, instead of on his hip as much as me, he's spending time on that knee and making sure that's really warmed up, since that's his history, okay? So anyways, I'm gonna go now, finish my warm up here, just doing back extensions. I'll go body weight. I'm gonna put this down and I'm gonna bang out 10. And the intention with these is to really, again, squeeze those glutes, squeeze all that hip muscles, okay? You want to have a very intentional squeeze in the glute. Good. That's feeling nice. You want to achieve like a mini pump, okay? You're not trying to fatigue yourself right before your workout, but you want to have that blood flow. So I'd rather your air going a little pumped than being too cold, okay? Now we're gonna go over and start doing our first warm-up sets of the exercise, which today is squat. Good here, ready? Okay. So the starting weight, the goal here is to do 3 to 5 sets, 3 to 5 reps, working up to your first working set. And we'll talk about what a working set is. For me, based on my strength levels, this is gonna be my first set. I could go bar. I'm already warmed up, like I said, so I'm gonna start right here. I'm gonna clip this on my hat so I don't have to keep worrying about it. Okay. So in these warm-up sets, I'm gonna take my time. I'm gonna sit down here, get a good pause. I'm gonna work on my breathing, okay? You wanna make sure you really breathe into your stomach, create your own squat belt, okay? I wanna feel the muscles. I wanna lower the weight. I wanna stretch, breathe, pop, okay? 3 to 5, that's all you need. We're not trying to tire yourself out. I'm gonna get a slant board now, because in our programs, very classic ATG squat is this slant board squat. Why? This angle allows the knee to go more over the toe, which puts more tension on the quad, okay? So we like to break up and be intentional with our training. If we wanna work the hips and glutes more, you do RDLs. If you wanna work the quads more, you do slant squats. So I'm gonna grab my own now. I'm gonna go ahead and do just 3 more reps with the slant now. So you can go all the way on. When I'm going heavy on my barbell, I like to just keep my toes off for a little more stability. I don't want to risk sliding off or anything. The angle of the heel is the same, so it doesn't change the effect. Just like that, control. And good. Now I'm gonna add some weight. again, for me, this is a good average jump. For you, it might be 5 pounds, 10 pounds, okay? Many ways to load. If you can't do barbell squat yet, if you're not comfortable, if you've never done it before, start with dumbbells. You can go heavy kettlebells. This guy's crushing it. And I've been watching this guy, social media, progressive squat. He's got one of the strongest squats per pound in here. Yeah. Got other variations, chains. One of the highest jumpers in the world, Court, you can follow him on YouTube. He works the chains because it helps him accelerate through the entire range of motion, okay? So it's a little more athletic version. Same concept though. All right. Yeah. Do one more warm up. I'm gonna be honest, this is live. We also just played for 2 hours in 90 degrees in Central Florida, so we'll see how this goes. Let's watch this guy real quick. Now that is a perfect squat form right there. Beautiful. So another thing, warm up, take the time you need, but you don't take 5 minutes. You're not working, right? If you need that long of a break, it's probably you're already going too heavy. So I like to do like 60 to 120 seconds, okay? This is my last warm up set. Just gonna go a couple here. Oof. Good. Now I'll take a few minutes and do my first working set. A working set means it's got to be within 80-90% of your max set of that day. So if you're not sure and you did 200 pounds, but your final set was 300 pounds, that 200 pound doesn't count. Does that make sense? Because that's only 66% of your max weight. So I like to use the rule of 20%. Within 20% of your best set that day is your working sets, okay? 45 instead. Yeah, I like that. Ben was out there, 2 hours in the heat. This is how we started. We both came super unathletic. He was probably less athletic than even me. We had a little bit different sports. We've worked the same exact style of training with just different intentions, and we've gone to where we both want to be. So after this set, Ben, tell him about the squat.
Oh fuck, you got me out of breath.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's so impressive that Fernando can be demoing this after being out there in 90-degree heat. The gratitude I have right now, I've talked to so many of the guys here, just show on the screen right now. Connor, other Connor, Cortland, and so many of us had the same thing to say, which is like, we have a step-by-step route now to be able to help control how much ability our knees have so we can go do the things we want to do. To be able, Connor, what were you telling me, just like, you were saying like how grateful you are. Like, it's not, nothing's perfect, but we have like a step-by-step sequence of building more knee ability.
Yeah.
Like, how does it feel to have that control? Like, we could still get hurt. Like, I've gone 10 years without a knee setback. Like, that's insane for someone who's had dozens of knee setbacks.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for sure is just like knowing that no matter what happens, even if it's like I did something wrong or someone ran into me or, you get cancer or whatever happens, like, there is no real setback because I know I can get back to where I want to go. It doesn't matter how low I go. I can go as high as I want as long as I'm willing to put in the time.
Connor's coming back from chemo, by the way, which is like, this is priceless for us. Like the fact that he can go out and hoop with us, that Connor can rebuild, knowing how to rebuild, making sure that he has enough knee ability to enjoy basketball. And for someone else, maybe it's the lower back or whatever it is. Like life has already so much impact, trauma on us. So for us to have something we can do to control that, and that's why you see me here, I'm using a kettlebell. Fernando's using a barbell right now. Why? Because I already played basketball. So I'm rocking with the team, but I just have so much gratitude to be able to do any of this that I'm gonna enjoy the motion here. He has the pressure, he has to show you the barbell, but I'm not gonna do it just because.
Right.
It's just so much gratitude that I'm gonna enjoy this today. I'm gonna get my RDLs in with dumbbells. I'm gonna get my overhead presses in. I can already feel sore muscles here, not my joints. My muscles are sore. Basketball used to only make my knees sore, not my muscles.
That's an important part about ATG system is that after you play sports, you'll start, once you get in the rhythm, you'll start to feel your muscles sore after your play, not your joints anymore, okay? So I'm gonna do my first set here. Now, quick thing is, something to know, even for those on the program already that are watching this, is when we say a rep, we say 8 reps, you're not like a bad person if you get 6, okay? So you're going for 8, and I want you to push that limit, okay? Now, if you're getting 3, 4, it's too far, you know? We like to use kind of a range. So we set a target, but if you get 6 or 7, fine, maybe you wanna drop a little, maybe you stay and you work that rate. If you're getting 8 easy and you had 5 left in the tank, okay, you gotta go up weight. Don't just cruise always. And it depends on your goals. Like for me, I want to build more quads and I want to build more strength, so I have to push that limit. That's a key factor. If you're just going longevity and you just want to, like perfect example was Ben, the gratitude. He just wants to feel, he wants to get a little pump, he wants to recover his knees. That's a different purpose than me. I'm trying to get stronger and build more muscle, because that's how I got to where I need it. We have a different body type, okay? So all right, here we go. Enough stalling. Always strong brace when you lift. Controlled back. Here we go. Oh, easy. Okay. A little weaker than normal thanks to the basketball, but pretty happy with that. 315 for 8. Now I'm gonna take a full recovery and try to do it again. Okay, yeah, we're gonna get Zay to try to do this. Now,
I think it's would be a great one to interview on squats.
absolutely. So the key to this is good form. He's gonna go even heavier here, okay? There is time for those a little more advanced. If you wanna go even heavier, lowest reps, get up.
You gotta get up, Zay.
Good.
That is a PR, guys. I just want to let y'all know.
After 2 hours of basketball. Now, maxing is not required. You don't need to do it. But if you want to do it, build your body, work the accessory, make yourself bulletproof, and then you're going to be able to test and have fun. That was for fun. Okay, so.
I'll give you a breath.
Yeah.
And I'll get Court here too. I think Court's a perfect one to help get the context on this. So, barbell is advantageous to load. What if I want to dunk when I'm 50 more than I want to jump higher right now, but I also want to jump higher right now. So 1 day a week, I use the barbell. I don't go less than about 8 reps. It's very moderate. Then I try to match that weight, at least 8 reps, the RDL, you can see with a nice stretch. And then I try to match half that weight overhead. So this gives me a barbell system I could use as long as I want to use a barbell. But for me, it's mastering the motions that gives me the confidence that I'm going to dunk when I'm 50. Cortland here is one of the highest jumpers in the world. not naturally a great deep squatter. But what do you think is probably the number one exercise that helps you jump higher?
My squat, 100%. Chain squats.
So maybe try to explain the context for someone, because we're saying you don't have to go barbell. You could go barbell. Maybe just help them with some context.
Well, I think ideally, if you want to learn how to jump higher, you have to. If you want to learn how to jump higher, you have to train to jump. So what I do is I protect my knees, because when I jump, I land on the ground. And there's a lot of impact going from that point. So when I'm going to the bottom of the rep, I'm really controlling it, taking my time, keeping time with my detention and my quads. But when I get to full range of motion, I want to explode back up to the top, because I want to simulate what I do when I go jump while I'm in the gym. It's controlled exercises, and if you can hold this, I want to show him a rep.
Yeah, let's see it. So he's really using the squat to like own the rep. So he's using, the weight is not beating him up. He's using the weight to challenge the muscles. When you jump, you have a ton of force, you have to stop, and then you have to explode back up. So this is the form he really tries to use on a squat. And I would say Court moved down here to rebuild his knees, and I think it was some months before he even felt good in deep squat. I think that's a tremendous accomplishment. For me, the fact that I can feel good doing a deep squat, that's the biggest accomplishment of all. How far you go with it would depend on your goals. And he does add weight as well. He was just out there jumping with his head over the rim, playing basketball, jumping over and over and over. And just like I was saying, he was out there like it wasn't planned, and he's like, I can't believe how good my knees feel. Like it's very cool when that's been a barrier, and then you get to enjoy it without it holding you back. All right, we're gonna let Fernando keep going here. He's got his heavy stuff. Ride it out with us, and then maybe get to the RDL.
Yeah, I'm gonna do one more. I'm gonna do one more set. Well, I did 8, so I'm just gonna I'm doing sets of 8. I want to show a reality of what that second set might be, because I might get 6 only now. Yeah.
All right, guys. Fernando's going 315 for 8.
This is I already did it. Should I go up? Should I go up? Should I go up?
I don't know.
I'll go up.
I didn't see this.
I'll go up. Let's go 10. Let's add 10. Let's add 10. So look, I'm motivated. I'm only doing 2 sets because of the fatigue. But look, we're gonna see what I get. I might get 4, I might get 5, I might get 8. It's okay. The only key is you never break form. Do not ego lift. I'm not ego lifting in the sense of like, well, I gotta move this weight no matter what. That's where you get injured. You compromise form. Push your limit. There's a difference between pushing your limits and ego lifting, okay? So after this, I'm gonna be coaching and showing you guys perfect RDL form, which many people in here have. Hey, I wanna show your form next after this set. On the RDL. Yeah. All right. All right.
That's what it's about. He doesn't have to live in fear.
Yeah.
He gets to enjoy life with his friends.
Let's see.
I have kids now. I know what it's like. It's so great to be able to play with your kids after workout, not have all this fear. So that's what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
If we can give you less fear, we're doing our job.
As an athlete, as a human being, as an elder, it doesn't matter. Okay? I'm gonna take a break here. We got some guys in here with perfect RDL form. So, number 1 rule in RDL, number 1 by far, never concave, never round your low back. And for those of you that say, well, what about Jefferson curls or back extension? It's an extremely different exercise. I'm not holding 225, 315, okay? So those exercises you can round your lower back with the appropriate weight. When you're training RDL, you're not training the Jefferson curl. And so that's the only place where one can quote unquote injure themselves or hurt themselves, because they then break form, go into a Jefferson curl with way too much weight, okay? This is perfect form here. Knees are slightly bent and locked. I don't know if you can catch this, Drew. His knees are over his heel. They do not go forward in this because we want to maximize glute engagement and hamstring stretch, okay? Another point, it's not about how low you go, it's about how much of a stretch you get. So he keeps his back tight. You can see his muscles working here. So this is locked in. The posterior chain is completely locked in. The bar stays close to his body. Closer, closer. Good. Keep it close. See that? That's good form. You felt that a little more stretch, I'm sure. Good shit, man. All right. Tell me about that. Tell me about the difference. Sorry. Tell me about the difference of, I don't know your history in training, but tell me something about that RDL form, keeping it close, maximizing the stretch versus deadlifting with a rounded back, for instance.
Yeah, so from deadlifting in the past, before, you know, finding ATG and everything, my low back always gave me trouble. I would deadlift one day, it'd be 10 days before you could get at it again. Now, I can RDL every day of the week. My low back's stronger. It's just the positioning, the strictness of the form that you focus on that leads to those results. I mean, just kind of going into the gym willy-nilly deadlifting once in a while, it's not the way to do it. You got to protect your back.
Yeah.
All those joints in there.
Yeah, and exactly. In that form, it's going to protect everything and work the muscles optimally. So again, one of my favorite lines is, you're not training the bar, you're training the muscles, the tension on your muscles. So the weight on the bar is just a tool to increase tension. But you never focus on this, you focus, how much tension am I getting on my muscle, okay? So yeah, thank you, man. Great form, great form. Okay, we need someone doing overhead press. We strip this. Yeah. Guys, let's get some guys doing dumbbell pressing and barbell overhead. I need someone doing barbell. Huh? Yeah, right. You want this or less? How many reps can you get? I want to show like 6 to 8. Okay, if you can't do barbell or you only have dumbbells, there you go. Notice the hand.
I've actually been doing it at all angles.
Exactly. Notice the hand position. It's surprisingly so uncommon. But what this does is it really allows you to get a full range of motion on this joint, okay?
I've been just pressing all angles.
It's amazing. So you look at his elbows, keeping in line with his ears. Okay, you see how they're on the side of his face. He's not directly in front.
This would be a usual full range spot.
This is the ATG. Yeah, you can do.
Someone wants to press from.
If someone had weaker front shoulder, for instance, you could go in front. But the generic base level is that wide W press because it gets the most range of motion. So right here, and I'll show the barbell version, but if I'm gonna use dumbbells, I'm gonna make it strict, I'm gonna make it tough. So notice, stays on the side, okay? And there's many variations. You can add a rotation, okay? You can even go now in front a little bit, called like underhand here, where almost palms are facing you, okay? As opposed to this, when people go like this, they're stopping halfway. Look at my elbow position. I'm hitting here. Look when I twist, look what happens, okay? It disengages and allows better range of motion on the shoulder joint, okay? Zay's gonna show us now the barbell version.
You going front or back?
Front. This is the overhead press, okay? Love this because again, now you're loading your core. Like every barbell exercise, it's gonna put a little more nervous system. You have to have a little more intent, okay? It's gonna be a lot more core, okay? It allows you to go heavier, loads the spine more. Good shit. Very, very strong. Notice the full range of motion. He's not stopping at his eyes. Going all the way down. Strong grip. There we go. That's good. That's good shit. Thank you. That's the overhead press. Just a basic movement. At ATG, we like overhead and incline movements far better. Not that benching is bad, flat benching is bad, but we prefer them because they translate better to real world movements, and they translate better to athletic movements. So a bench press with the arch, you're essentially pushing at a almost completely straight or 45-degree angle down. So better than that is a dip, okay? Because that's how you're gonna get up off a rock. Or in sports, when you jump, your arms are coming at an angle upward. So the overhead press and the incline bench are gonna translate far better to real world movements and in sports, okay? So here's another overhead press. All the way down. Notice that when he finishes at the top, the bar is overhead. He's not leaning back doing a standing incline bench, okay? Yeah, he's actually doing an overhead press. So it's a sort of slight, almost crescent moon shaped movement, okay? Yeah, beautiful. Tremendous core workout here too. A lot of the way I developed my abs was simply from barbell movements, from heavy RDLs, the bracing, having to stay stiff, the squat all the way in that hole, having to use my own brace, overhead pressing, having to stabilize all that. The only ab workout I do would be hip flexor work for running and for hip stability, but very different movement. I've never spent time ever doing crunches, okay? It's just a far less effective way of training the abs. Nothing totally wrong with it. If you're at a really low level, you can do that and it'll help strengthen, but the number one ab exercise is barbell work, all right? So if you want strong core, functional core, work up your way to barbell work. In other videos, we're gonna talk about regressions, okay? Ben Clairfield will be here. He's gonna talk about if you have knee pain, if you can't squat, we're gonna do goblet squats, dumbbell squats, split squats, Peterson, Poliquin, Patrick step-ups. All these things are useful tools to get you to doing effective barbell work. I hope this helps. Thank you to everyone here. Thank you guys. I love being part of this. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you stay tuned. We're gonna give everything as much as we can away to you guys. We wanna help, okay? So thank you, Ben. Yep. And we'll see you next time.